What is going on, my peeps? Your boy Versal Dude is back with another video. Back with my PS5 reveal of all these dope games and the reveal of the PlayStation 5 itself, along with other accessories. Caution, there's a baby on board. Yes, I was gonna wait to show you guys this shirt. I got a bunch of other Funko gear coming, but today was a very fitting day to wear it and reveal it to you guys, along with other things that are being revealed. And what a show did Sony put on for PlayStation, and I think Xbox just got buried just like that. Shout out to the blue light representative of PlayStation. Now, before we get into the video, make sure you guys ignite that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you guys stay informed when I drop videos. Now let's get into the video. What are we going to do? Well, I'm going to go through the complete rundown and the order of events that took place, and a bunch of the games that I'm going to announce I'm not as worried about, so I'm going to breeze through those. I'm going to give a few comments on the ones that I actually care about, such as basically the real first opening of the PlayStation 5 event and what ended the PlayStation 5 event. And then I'm going to save my more descriptive or detailed discussion for those few games that will drop on my podcast on Saturday. So definitely stay tuned for that. But what are we about to get into right now? Yes, the event, like, they opened up pretty cool, just good, reliving the moments of Sony and PlayStation, the logos, the icons and stuff like that. They, basically shouted out all the GTA supporters, and those who have GTA on PS4 will get like $1 million in cash in the game until the PS5 version of GTA 5 drops in 2021. So those who like that was dope. I think that was like a prelude to the actual event, because what took place after that? Spider-Man Miles Morales. Yes, if you guys see the trailer right here, we're gonna let it play. I didn't know what it was at first. I was listening to the talk and looking at his hands and whatnot. I'm like, I don't know. Is that what I think it is? And then as like the face part popped up, I was like, is that Spider-Man? And then boom, we got Miles Morales in action. He's got a different swing style, which I find to be very pleasing. I found Peter Parker's swing style to be kind of stiff or generic, just from the perspective of he just didn't feel as elusive or loose as we see in the game, like slight gameplay trailer of Miles Morales swinging around New York. But the gameplay itself, it looks like it's going to be good because it utilizes Miles Morales's powers. Like, he got like a cloaking ability, he got electricity powers, of course he's got Spider-Man powers. So it looks like the way they open it up looks like something takes place like towards the end of this Spider-Man piece. Why I say piece is because it looks like a DLC to Spider-Man, because it didn't say Spider-Man 2. So it looks like it's going to be DLC for Spider-Man, whether or not you could pop your PS4 Spider-Man right into the PS5 game tray, or there's going to be it's going to have its own game, but I think it's going to be a very small game, and I'll get into why on my podcast, but I don't want to go too much into detail. I just want to go through the reveals. And that Spider-Man Morales reveal shut everything down. That's how you open up an event. Sorry, Inside Xbox and everything else we've gotten from Xbox. This is why Sony allowed Xbox to dominate right now, quote unquote, because you got the reveal quick. We got a look at what Halo 5 Infinite might look like. But even Xbox says they're not going to have any exclusives or first party exclusives anyway until like 2022. So, with that concern out there, you got the box. We got information about the specs, the details of the software and hardware components. But that was really pretty much it. And even with their Inside Xbox like gameplay reveal like session, didn't really reveal much, and it seemed like it revealed games that will be cross-platform. So Xbox really didn't dominate as hard as they could have, and Sony has stayed quiet all this time and gave Xbox as much leeway as they could, because they knew what they were about to drop. And they dropped the Spider-Man gameplay trailer reveal at the beginning of the PS5 event, and that's how they immediately already shut it down. Most of us was ready to go after that, But then no. Then they show us Gran Turismo 7. Now I'm not a big fan, or I didn't play Gran Turismo like that, so it's not a big deal to me. But for those who do play it, that's why it continues. It's a seventh game. So they come out next with Gran Turismo 7. And then they come out the gate as the third game, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Like, what? It almost sounds double entendre-esque, you know, but a PS5 Ratchet and Clank. Now, I like that because if it's a staple game for your console generations, that's always been there, people adore that game, then you have to keep it going because people appreciate that game. Some people think they need to leave behind some of these games, but if they could tell a story for it and the gameplay is still solid, like the game mechanics and of course the graphics look stellar, then drop another generational game for that story, for that series. And that Ratchet and Clank game looks cool. It made me think of Deadlocked immediately. I just forgot about like the jumping mechanics and whatnot for it. So it looks really cool. I'm looking forward to Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Then they followed up with the game called Project Athea or Project Athea. Looks promising, like dragons and powers and stuff like that. So they didn't really give us anything else. Again, the graphics for every single game looked stellar. Like, as I run through these games, a lot of different games took like different cues or different approaches to like a graphical power. So like some were realistic looking, some were like, I don't want to say paper machete, but well, machete. But like some was like kind of anime cartoon-esque. Some of it was, you know, just different, but then like had realism within it. So like different approaches to graphics for different games, but each game still looked amazing. So after that project game, they had a game that looked like it focused on a cat of some sort. It was called Stray. And then Housemarque's Returnal game drops, and it looks like this lady's on a distant planet that's warping her view of reality, and she's fighting creatures, finding a way, you know, out before she's like taken over, because like the planet seems like it like takes your mind. So like it looks super cool and different, and I'm looking forward to playing that game. Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Those who don't know, Sackboy is from Little Big Planet, so that's a way for them to continue Little Big Planet onto the PS5. That looks kind of neat and cool. I think my wife may like playing that. Shoot, I may even try playing it. I mean, I think Sackboy, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and I think one other game, at least Godfall, are all holiday 2020 games for sure. And then the rest of them like 2021. And then there's one game that was 2022. We'll get to that. But then after Sackboy, we had Destruction All-Stars, which looks cool. It's like a combination of people and cars in an arena trying not to get destroyed, basically. That looks kind of cool. It looked kind of Rocket League, Burnout-ish. It looked cool. And then you had Ember Labs, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. And that game looked like realistic. And then looked like trolls at the same time, but realistic. But of course had real person, real protagonist anyway. So that game looks cool. A lot of these indie games looked like very unique and intriguing. Then you had Goodbye Volcano High, and then you had Oddworld Soulstorm. Then you had Ghostwire Tokyo. It kind of reminded me of Bleach a little bit in terms of like the story behind the protagonist or the main character. Then you had Solar Ash, Hitman 3. I never played Hitman, but the graphics, at least for the, I don't know if you want to call it a cinematic trailer with a little bit of gameplay in there, but it looked cool. Never played Hitman, but this concludes the Hitman series anyway. Then you have the UI tease. So they show like briefly, like when you first cut on the PlayStation 4, you know how like it pulls up your profiles, or like if you turn it on and you didn't turn your controller on, and you got, you know, it tells you to press the PS button to then launch the profile screen. It was something similar to that at this point in the trailer or in the event. But in between each game, they were like giving us very, very small subtle clues and teases to what the box actually looked like. So then after the UI tease, they hit us with Astro's Playroom, which if you don't know who Astro is, he basically really showed up on the PS4. I think he has somewhat of a playroom on the PS4, but it's like an iconic you know, symbol for PlayStation and PlayStation 4. So that popped up. they have a game for that. Then Little Devil Inside, and then NBA 2K21 presented by Zion Williamson. That looks really nice. The graphics, of course, for 2K has always looked good, and this continues to rise the bar. My thing is always with like the net and then their hands grabbing onto the rim when they dunk or whatever. They could, you know, touch up on those two small aspects, but outside of that, the game usually looks pretty real, pretty decent and whatnot. And for this trailer for Zion as well, it's nice to see this new rookie taking things, and it sounds like he's going to be on the cover of 2K21. It says it's going to be dropping fall 2020, so that's interesting to see. And it's also kind of funny because, I mean, I guess it's the one game that's not PS5 exclusive, but they got the rights to, of course, drop it in the PS5 event. So shout out to 2K Games. Then you had Bug Snacks. Then you had Shuhei Yoshida show up and present Demon Souls from Blueprint. Never played none of the Souls games, but the game graphically looks amazing. Like developers are probably so happy that the next gen is taking a big leap forward in terms of hardware components that will allow these game developers to really maximize on making games. Because when you think about it, some of these engines that they use for games, they use in movies or in TV shows like The Mandalorian. The Unreal Engine 4 and probably soon to be 5 was used in The Mandalorian. And so when you can see the potential there, and now you start seeing that crossover into the games, it's mind-blowing what games are looking like now and how they're gonna feel. Then you had Deathloop, then you had Resident Evil Village. Never played none of the Resident Evil games. Then you had Pragmata 2022, and a lot of people are suspecting this is a game that has been written by the guy who wrote the Dead Space games, and it's kind of evident in what the protagonist looks like in this game. His helmet looks very Dead Space and Anthem-esque. So it looks like a combination of those two. He's helping out this girl. At first, she didn't seem like she was real, and then it looks like she isn't. And then just like the whole trailer itself looks really, really good. And it looks like he may have been on the moon, or he was on the Earth, and then got transported back to the moon or something like that. It just looks cool. The way it started out, it almost kind of felt like Death Stranding a little bit, but again, graphically amazing. The story is probably going to be really, really good. I'm looking forward to that game. That's the one game that's coming out in 2022, but the trailer itself was amazing. And then you got the ending of the show, the ending of the event, or what you thought was the end. They drop Horizon 2 Forbidden West. They drop Horizon 2. The gameplay, more cinematic based trailer, but they dropped the trailer for Horizon 2, and it blew all of our minds. Aloy sounds more older and more mature, like there may have been like a 3 to 5 year time skip between Horizon 1 and Horizon 2. She can now swim. Now we're gonna be coming across new tech droids. I forgive my lack of gaming terms for Horizon because I haven't played it in like 2 years, but I want to play that game again just to get back into understanding everything. But all the tech, robotic forms of life, of wildlife, is what you come across in Horizon, and they take that to another level in Horizon 2. And then Silence is back as well, because he went to seem like to go discover more about the daemon that basically the virus that was affecting all the droids, all the robots, all of their workings was affected by a virus, and he went to go discover that virus. So that much I do remember, but I'm definitely looking forward to playing this game. This game did not get any release information. So the fact that they were able to draw up what seemed to have been like a 3.5 minute trailer, and it looks stellar, it looks really good, it makes me think that this may not be dropping holiday 2020. This might be dropping 2021. And I think the perfect date would be February 2021. Why does Versatile say 2021 February? Because February 2017 is when Horizon Zero Dawn dropped. So that is very befitting for Horizon to drop 4 years later, same date, February 2021. So that's what I think. They didn't say when, so I don't know. If it is holiday 2020, that would be cool too. But it's, man, and the flow of the show was moving just bam, 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 bam. Like, it was just moving. And then, like, I feel like they did a pretty good job of spacing familiar games with new games throughout the show to keep you watching. Because if they hit you with bangers on the beginning and they start tailoring out with the indie games, then people may have clocked out, halfway through because they got what they came for. They just wanted to see if there was another Spider-Man, another Horizon, any other familiar old nostalgic games. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they technically opened the show with Spider-Man and technically ended it with Horizon was perfect. That was perfect. And then, I forgot to tell you about Godfall earlier up in the in the top frame, but Godfall dropped after Jet the Far Shore, which dropped after Ghostwire Tokyo. Godfall showed off gameplay footage again, but that gameplay footage was from the dev kit. So that wasn't even from, like, captured from, like, a legitimate PS5. That was run from the dev kit. So Godfall is going to look cool. It's going to be dope. It kind of feels Assassin's Creed Odyssey a little bit, but like in a better way. It just, man. Okay. So how do they end the show? They get all these developers and studios together to talk about the PS5 and this, that, and the third, and they all group them together like on a Zoom meeting, and they say, welcome to PS5. And then we get the reveal of the PS5 box and accessories. As you watch this trailer, at first glance, you think it is going to be more square shaped. I'm not even going. It looks a little square shaped, not square, circle shaped. It looks like we're going to get more of a circular design the way they open it up. But then as it's doing, you're like, oh, okay, all right. It's like a speaker. What is going on here? Ooh, ooh, ooh. And then it starts unraveling. And then you see this piece of alien technology that you would find in a video game as the realized console. This is what the PS5 looks like. USB-C, USB-A on the front. It looks like there's either two other slots, maybe SD card reader. That's what it honestly did look like. Now maybe they're just vents, but the design, it's the blue lighting, it fit the controller so well. Everything came together like it should have. But then they say, wait, there's more. They didn't technically say that. I said that. The way they pitched in the trailer is how they basically said it. Then they show you some more groovatures and just showing us what the design, like the interior, I won't say interior, but more defined detail into the console. And then you see two. You're like, oh, there's two. A digital edition, bro. We got a digital edition and a regular optical edition, PS5 launching here soon, which may mean that the digital edition will cost less than the optical version, and the price points may still make sense. $470 and $520. I think I can safely say those are two good price points, or predictable price points, for these two consoles. But then they say, wait, there's more. They didn't say that, like I said before. Then they show us the DualSense controllers again, but then their own charge stations. And then they follow up with an HD camera. And then they follow up with the Pulse 3D headset, which probably came before the camera. Which means we're going to get better sound. Because I was really close to buying the current gen or first gen Pulse 3D headset. But now that they got a new one coming out, it's like the Platinum headset. This is the new one. I'm just going to wait for that because I know it's way better tuned sound, better drivers, and all that good jazz. So I'm waiting on a new one. And then they end it with a new PS5 entertainment remote, basically a remote control. White it out. What? Like, bro, I'm ready, man. I have been ready and waiting, and it would be even more cool if Sony decided we're gonna bundle with the pre-orders, the HD camera, the remote, the charge station, and possibly even the headset. If you pre-order the bundle, you get all that. I am doing that. I'm pre-ordering this when it comes out. And that concluded the show. So I don't know when we're actually going to see the release date information. Maybe next month in July after Ghost of Tsushima. I think it's possible that we could get a release date for the PlayStation 5 and pricing info so we can start pre-ordering, because best believe that's getting pre-ordered. That's getting pre-ordered, son. Like, it's getting pre-ordered. So that's the PS5 event, and you basically get to see my reaction as I just kind of recall everything. I jotted everything down so that way I could come and do this video. I am so psyched, prepared, and ready. It's not even funny. And you can tell that they want to stand the PS5 up. Like, they really want to just stand it up. Of course, it's going to be able to go horizontal as well, but it just looks so clean standing up, and I would stand it up if I could. I got to figure out how I can make that happen in my living room now. But that concludes the PS5 event. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts about any of the games that you heard or saw, or what the PS5 looks like, what Spider-Man looks like, you know, some of these games. Let me know down in the comments below. As I said in my podcast dropping Saturday, I'm going to try to go a little bit more into detail about Spider-Man and Horizon 2 for sure. Those are the two games that I have pretty decent information on, and I'll probably go to more depth into the PlayStation 5 as to what it looks like, you know, the headset and all that type of stuff. So it's gonna be another basic podcast, but it's gonna be centered around what has now been confirmed through the PS5 event. So hopefully you guys stay tuned and look forward to that. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys appreciate and enjoyed it. If you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, ignite that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you guys stay informed when I drop videos. But your boy Versal signing out, and until the next video, wait for it.